Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining today. I wish we could be together, I truly do, but we all have circumstances beyond our control, and so we'll make the best of this virtual experience, and hopefully it will be meaningful to you today. On behalf of the World Wide Web Consortium and GENIVI Alliance, I'd like to welcome you to today's activities, and I just want to give a brief overview, as Chris said, to some of the things that we're thinking about as we launch this Common Vehicle Interface Initiative. While I'm sure most of you are already familiar with W3C and the GENIVI Alliance, just give me a few seconds to remind you of the organization's respective missions and activities. The World Wide Web Consortium, or W3C, is an international community that develops open standards to ensure the long-term growth of the web. Those open standards have fundamentally changed the way people interact and how businesses operate today. We are pleased to have the W3C CEO, Jeff Jaffrey, join us during the first workshop to give us a little bit more understanding of where the web standards are headed and the impact that they intend to have in the future. So we'll look forward to that and welcome you to join that. The GENIVI Alliance had its beginnings in developing a Linux-based open source platform for in-vehicle infotainment systems. Having successfully accomplished that initial mission, GENIVI has expanded its scope to help automakers and suppliers develop standard approaches that integrate multiple operating systems in the centralized and connected vehicle cockpit. We are also enhancing vehicle connectivity to the cloud and promoting a common vehicle data model and shared service catalog. So with those introductions, let me talk a little bit about, tell a brief story about two vibrant industries, and you can probably guess what those vibrant industries are. But unfortunately, they were separated for a very long time. For many years, these industries provided great benefit to their respective consumers. The web industry connected people and businesses as never before. New models of doing business were derived from this new connectivity. And at the same time, in the automotive space, new and compelling features were brought into the car. Driver assistance and new safety features were introduced. And drivers and passengers began enjoying seamless integration of their mobile phones into the vehicle experience. Both industries were making and continue to make a very positive impact to their consumer base. But the two industries, unfortunately, were separated and were not used to conversing with each other. And like this drawbridge on this picture, it kept them from meaningful exchange. They could see each other and they could even taste the potential benefit of engaging with each other, but the bridge just simply did not allow it. But then the idea of working together came on the scene, perhaps radically at first and without much caution, but the leap was made. And for the first time, the two industries began to discuss the potential of working together to bring their respective industries and technology leaders together. W3C and GENIVI Alliance created a framework which productive exchange could occur between these two industries. And having bridged the gap, dialogue began, and the two industries engaged with each other to find approaches that could mutually benefit their respective consumer base. Within a small amount of time, the collaboration produced two standards, both of which are gaining adoption and forming the basis for more advanced interactions between the vehicle and the web. As you can see on this slide, the GENIVI Vehicle Service Specification, or VSS, has become a candidate, an industry-wide candidate, for a common model for vehicle data. Extended by version 2, it's freely available on the GENIVI GitHub repository for download. It's being deployed in production vehicles, and it's poised for expansion to include services and interfaces. And finally, it is a firm foundation upon which this common vehicle interface initiative that we'll discuss today can be based. In the web side, you have the W3C Vehicle Interface Service Specification, or VISS. That describes associated protocols and interface technologies to make use of the data and service model of VSS. Released already as a W3C candidate recommendation, it also is being extended into version 2 and is poised for expansion to include function calls, RPC-like mechanisms, and also forms a second strong foundation for this common vehicle interface initiative. So building on those two foundations, a new and even bolder vision is being cast to engage the two industries in an initiative to develop a common vehicle interface. This vision is very bold because it spans both in-vehicle and in-cloud approaches. Sorry, went one too far there. It's a bold vision for a number of reasons. It's bold because it spans in-vehicle functions and in-cloud functions. It cares about the data as well as the function and services being exchanged between the cloud and the vehicle. It aligns with and leverages other standards being produced in many different contexts, some of which are listed here. And it also puts the vehicle in many other broader ecosystems like the Internet of Things, the Web of Things, V2X, smart mobility, smart cities, etc. And it has the potential for unlocking significant cost savings for future programs, vehicle programs, as well as many, many business opportunities, not just for automotive stakeholders, but also for web stakeholders as well. So starting today, we're going to begin this conversation about CVII. We've already had two roundtable discussions with several OEMs describing at a high level what this initiative could look like. And several have already expressed support. And today we have the opportunity just in a few minutes to hear from Ford, Renault, and Volvo Cars to talk about why they believe the industry needs this initiative. But it's now time for both organizations, both industries to step up in this industry-wide dialogue initiated by W3C and GENIVI in what we're calling the Common Vehicle Interface Initiative. It's an obvious leap. And after the panel, we'll have two workshops co-moderated by W3C and GENIVI, and then a follow-up workshop on Thursday to engage an Asia-based audience that may find today's time challenging to attend. And so you can see on this slide the various schedule ahead of us today. So when we started this presentation, we talked about two vibrant industries being separated by a drawbridge. GENIVI and W3C have experienced in the past few years a productive collaboration between web and automotive industries, resulting in two foundational and evolving standards to build upon. And today, we are proposing an even broader vision to evolve the relationship between the car and the web to a totally new level. The purpose of today's panel and the workshops today and on Thursday is to answer some very hard questions, like what are the boundaries of the scope of this initiative? What are the expected concrete deliverables of this initiative? We need to explore the need for existing organizations already working in the vehicle data area to work together and to share their respective approaches. And frankly, we have to answer the question whether a bold initiative like CVII is even viable in our industries today. We believe it is. And we want to start today to explore that. So locking arms may be cliche, but productive collaboration, not just between W3C and GENIVI, but between OEMs and suppliers, web development companies, standards bodies, has great potential. And we would like to begin to realize that potential starting today. So I close with a question and with a challenge. The question is, Is there a World Wide Web-like impact awaiting the web and automotive industries through productive collaboration and alignment resulting from a successful common vehicle interface initiative? It's a great question, and I hope it's one that we can answer today and in subsequent meetings as we walk away from this event. But let's start to begin to answer this question today. And the challenge? Let's find out. So with that, if there are any questions about GENIVI, about W3C, please jot down the names and addresses here on this slide. We'd welcome additional participation and commitment and membership as well. We're both membership-driven organizations, so if there's anything that either organization, W3C or GENIVI, can do for your organization to help build a productive collaboration in this area, please let us know. So with that, I'll pass it back to Chris, and I wish you all a great day talking about this new initiative. Thank you.